Fellow Toastmasters and other guests, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I thought for my first icebreaker speech, I would discuss two things about myself. So the first thing is, I'm a huge fan of glass sodas. Now, there's nothing wrong with drinking from a can or pouring it into a cup with ice, but I think there's a unique experience that comes with drinking it from a glass. It gives it a unique flavor, a unique taste to it, and it just adds variety to whatever you eat as well. Now, the second thing about me is I tend to do things on autopilot. Sometimes I talk too much without realizing that the other person I'm speaking to might be bored, or sometimes I say like too much, or I say while I'm speaking. And third, sometimes I throw out all papers and I realize, oh darn, I just threw my test by accident. And these two things eventually come together to form a very unique story. So this is my senior year of high school. I was part of the drumline section in marching band, and we just finished our season. So to celebrate, we go to hula hands. And the thing about hula hands is that they also give out bottled sodas, specifically bottled root beer. And because it was such a special occasion, I decided to get steak. So I order a steak and a root beer, and about 45 minutes later, the food comes, and I pour my steak sauce all over it. And while I'm talking to my friends, I was eating and talking at the same time, and I realized I was thirsty at one point. So I grabbed my bottle, and I started drinking it. And I took a quick glance, and the label wasn't a black label with like a logo that said root beer. It was instead a white label that said A1 written on it. So when I realized I wasn't drinking root beer, it was already too late, and I already swallowed an unhealthy amount of A1 steak sauce down my throat. And immediately my reaction was to spit everything out. And if anybody has ever been to the beach and accidentally drank salt water, that's exactly how it felt. My mouth was very dehydrated, I was choking a fit, and I immediately headed over to the bathroom with a glass of water, and some friends came along just to make sure I wasn't going to die or anything. And after a while of rinsing my mouth out and spitting it out, I felt a lot better. I go back to my table and I already see that my food's gone. And needless to say, I didn't order steak again. And afterwards, the next night, the morning after, I fortunately did not feel as bad yesterday. I only had a minor headache, which was to my relief. So, even all it took was to prevent all of this was just look before drinking, really. And I realized that sometimes I really should look before I think. And even though it's 5 years later, I'm still thinking about what I'm doing, trying to be more aware of what I'm saying right now. And I'm even practicing at this moment. I'm trying to make sure not to say any ums or ahs. And I think I did a pretty good job at that. Thank you.